Have you ever seen your dog barking at nothing or your cat staring into emptiness for minutes on end? Have you ever noticed your pet acting strangely, growling at the dark, or even hiding like it was afraid of something invisible? For centuries, cultures around the world have believed that animals are connected to the spiritual world. From dogs sniffing what they can't see, to cats that seem to perceive dimensions beyond human understanding. Today, you're going to discover real signs that your pet may be seeing what you cannot. And after this, you might never look into your pet's eyes the same way again. 1. Staring into empty space. This is the most common and the most unsettling behavior. A dog that stops in the middle of the room and just stares into a dark corner for minutes. Or a cat that sits in front of a wall and simply watches. They don't move. They don't blink. They don't respond to your voice. According to animal behavior experts, this could be explained by visual or auditory stimuli we're not aware of. But in many cases, the room is completely silent. And still, they just stay there, frozen. Some say this happens when a spirit is present, and the animal sees it, as if it were just another person. Second, sudden behavior changes. Dogs are extremely loyal, and cats, though independent, are very sensitive to energetic shifts. Imagine a calm, friendly pet that suddenly becomes aggressive. Starts growling at nothing, hides under the bed, or refuses to enter certain rooms of the house. This kind of behavior can have many explanations. But when it happens at the same time in the same place, and with no clear medical cause, that's when things start to feel disturbing. There are documented cases of haunted houses where the only ones to notice spiritual activity were the pets. In one famous case in England, a German shepherd began barking at the basement every night at 3:13 a.m. Days later, it was discovered that this was the exact time the former resident of the house had died. Coincidence? 3. Following something invisible with their eyes. Have you ever seen your cat slowly following something with its eyes, as if watching a person walk by? Or your dog suddenly perk up its ears, tilt its head, and watch the movement of something you just can't see? This type of behavior is common in paranormal cases. There are home videos showing dogs that suddenly stand up and wag their tails as if being petted. But no one is there. Many owners say this happens after a loved one passes away, as if their spirit returned to visit, and the animal was the only one to notice. 4. Fear of specific areas in the house. You've lived with your dog for years. They know every inch of your home. But suddenly they start avoiding one room. No matter how many times you call them, they won't go in. Sometimes they even get goosebumps, crouch down, and back away slowly. It's always the same hallway, the same bedroom, the same attic corner. This isn't normal, especially if they used to enter those spaces without issue. In some Afro-Brazilian spiritual traditions, this is interpreted as a spiritual reaction, as if the animal sensed a negative energy or a trapped entity in that place. 5. Reactions. During the early hours between 3 and 4 in the morning, countless supernatural reports occur. It's known as the witching hour. During this time, the spiritual world is said to be closer to our, and the energy around us shifts. Many pet owners report that their animals suddenly wake up at this hour. They bark at the ceiling, whine while staring at the door, or pace around the house restless. And when you get up to check, there's nothing there. At least nothing you can see. 6. Playing with the invisible. Some people think it's cute when a dog runs around chasing something or when a cat plays with the air. But when it happens over and over again, always in the same spot, and with no toys in sight, the feeling begins to change. In one 2019 account, after a grandfather passed away, the family cat began sleeping every night in his favorite armchair. Sometimes it would suddenly get up, as if interacting with someone invisible. The family believes the grandfather never truly left, and the cat was the only living connection to his presence. 7. Comforting the owner in the face of nothing. Dogs and cats are known to sense our emotions, but there are moments when it feels like they sense something more. Many owners report their pets suddenly approaching them, touching their noses to their face, licking them gently, or curling up in their lap with wide, watchful eyes. And this happens even when the person isn't sad, sick, or crying, as if they're protecting you from something unseen. Some believe that in those moments a negative energy is present. Others say the animal senses the approach of a spirit and is trying to keep it away from you. Animals see, feel, and perceive the world in ways much more sensitive than we imagine. Maybe they are the true spiritual guardians, the ones who warn us when the invisible is near. So next time your dog barks at nothing, or your cat stares into the dark for long minutes before you ignore it, look too. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is here that only they can see? Honestly, I didn't believe in this. It's one of those things you hear from other people and think, this will never happen to me. But it did happen. I moved into an old house that had been put up for sale at an almost unbelievable price. It was charming, with that rustic style and long hallways. There was just one detail that bothered me from the start: the door of the last bedroom. It was always slightly open even when I closed it, and every time I passed by it at night I felt a strange chill. But I thought it was just my imagination, until my dog Nero started acting weird. For some reason he refused to go near that door. He growled, barked, and stood still with his fur raised, staring into the darkness of the room as if there was someone inside. This happened every night, always at the same time, 3 a.m. I even opened the door, showed him there was nothing there, but he never completely calmed down. This went on for weeks. Until one day, talking to an older neighbor, I mentioned Nero's behavior in passing. She was silent for a few seconds, then told me, "Did you know the previous owner of the house died in that room?" She said they found her alone, locked inside, and since then no one could stay there for very long. Some tried to rent the room, others blocked the door with furniture, but no one could ignore that strange feeling. That night, when I passed by the room again, I didn't need to hear Nero's bark, because I felt it myself, as if someone was standing behind that door watching me in the dark. Now I want to know from you, has your pet ever acted strangely, as if seeing something you couldn't? Have they stared fixedly at nothing, refused to enter a certain room in the house, or even barked or meowed at the darkness for no apparent reason? These signs may seem silly in everyday life, but maybe they are more than just habits. Comment below what has happened with your pet. Who knows, your story might appear in the next video on the channel. And if you have lived through something really strange, tell everything. After all, the invisible only scares us when it is ignored.